In this, the second video on the SmartView Wizard, we look at creating a connection, which is linking a SmartView private connection to a metadata XML file. The SmartView Wizard works with your SmartView private connections. To view your private connections, select the Panel button in the SmartView ribbon and select the Private Connections option. If you only have shared connections, you can right-click on a shared connection and select the option to make it private. So to use a SmartView private connection with the SmartView Wizard, first select the Wizard tab, and if no SmartView connections have yet to be set up in the Wizard, you will see a large Create Connection button, which when pressed displays the Setup Connections form. In this form, select the private SmartView connection you want to connect. Firstly, enter your standard HFM username and password, the same one you'd use to connect to SmartView or the HFM workspace. Select Test and Save to check the logon credentials, and if successful, select Next to move to the next step. The SmartView Wizard needs access to a metadata XML extracted out of HFM. If you just don't have access to one of these files, select No at this option and we can use the SmartView Wizard to generate its own metadata XML file. This will be covered in a separate video. The rest of this video assumes that you can access a metadata XML file from HFM and select Yes at this option. Then choose the button Select HFM Metadata XML File. If you are already a Merlin Excel user, you should be able to locate a metadata XML file in your local Merlin Excel folder, which is usually in the App Data Roaming section of your profile in the Metadata folder. But if you don't already use Merlin Excel, you might be able to extract the metadata XML file yourself from the HFM workspace, and if not, get an HFM administrator to extract the metadata file and save it to a network drive where you and other users can access it. When extracting the metadata, you don't need to check the values or ICPs dimension, but make sure you do select the .xml file type option, then select Extract. We suggest that when you do download the metadata XML file, it's a good idea if you save the file to a specially created shared drive on the network, so that other users of the SmartView Wizard can all access the same file. So back in the SmartView Wizard, select the HFM Metadata XML file button, choose the shared folder on the network where the extracted metadata file has been saved, and by checking the checkbox you will ensure that the SmartView Wizard always picks up updates to that metadata file if new ones are extracted and saved there. Then select Next. The metadata XML file extracted from the HFM workspace does not include all the dimensions in the HFM application. Certain calendar dimensions like the year, period, value and view dimensions are added by the SmartView Wizard. You can manually update the list of currencies that will be included in the value dimension, and you can if you want to update the years, but we recommend leaving the first and last year as the defaults, as only years in the application between those ranges will be added to the metadata file. And when you select OK, the SmartView Wizard will spend a few seconds processing the calendar information and adding it to the metadata XML file. When the process is finished, a message will be displayed. And now you are ready to use the SmartView Wizard and connect the workbook to the SmartView connection. If you wish to repeat the connection process with another SmartView connection, use the Set Up Another Connection button in this form. Or choose one of the connections you've already set up and connect the workbook to start using the SmartView Wizard.